Imagine a shadow creeping across Germany, slowly but surely, casting a pall over the landscape. This isn't just any shadow, it's one that many people hoped had disappeared forever, a specter from the past that has found new life in the present. This shadow represents a political force that many believed was relegated to history books. After the devastation of World War II, Germany worked hard to rebuild itself both physically and morally. The relief was palpable as the nation moved towards a future of democracy and unity. But now, that shadow has a name, Alternative für Deutschland, or AfD for short. This political party has emerged from the fringes to become a significant player in German politics. The AfD is known for its strong, often extreme beliefs. Their rhetoric is filled with controversial statements that have sparked both support and outrage across the country. Initially, many dismissed the AfD as a fringe group with little chance of gaining real power. However, recent developments have shown that this is no longer the case. The party has gained significant traction and is now a formidable force in German politics. The results of recent elections have been eye-opening. The AfD's popularity is on the rise, and their influence is growing. This isn't just a temporary surge, it's a sign of deeper changes within the political landscape. In Thuringia, the AfD shocked many by winning the most votes. This was a clear indication that their message was resonating with a significant portion of the population. And it's not just Thuringia. The AfD has also made substantial gains in Saxony and Brandenburg, further solidifying their presence in German politics. This phenomenon isn't confined to Germany alone. The rise of the AfD is a warning sign for all of Europe. Similar movements are gaining momentum across the continent, challenging the established political order. The resurgence of such ideologies serves as a stark reminder that the past can return if we're not vigilant. It underscores the importance of continually striving to uphold values like fairness, kindness, and democracy. The success of the AfD is a wake-up call for everyone who envisions a world free from fear and hate. It challenges us to take action and stand up for the principles we hold dear. However, the AfD's rise isn't solely due to their own strategies and ideas. There are larger, more complex issues at play that have contributed to their growing influence. Economic instability, social unrest, and a general sense of uncertainty have created an environment where fear and anger can easily take root. These conditions have made it easier for the AfD to attract supporters who are looking for answers and solutions. To truly understand the rise of the AfD, we need to look beyond Germany and examine the global context. Issues like the refugee crisis, economic inequality, and political polarization are driving people towards more extreme viewpoints. By addressing these underlying problems, we can begin to counteract the forces of fear and division. The AfD is popular not because their ideas are good, but because a lot of people are disappointed with the way things are. This discontent stems from a variety of issues that have been brewing for years. People feel left out and ignored by the mainstream political parties. They believe that their voices are not being heard, and their concerns are not being addressed. This sense of alienation has created a fertile ground for the AfD to grow. Regular people feel like the politicians in charge don't care about their problems. They see a disconnect between their daily struggles and the policies being implemented. This gap between the electorate and the elected officials has widened over time, leading to a loss of trust in traditional political institutions. People are looking for alternatives, and the AfD presents itself as a party that listens and understands their plight. This happens in many countries, not just Germany. Across the globe, we see a rise in populist movements that capitalize on the frustrations of ordinary citizens. From Europe to the Americas, people are rallying against what they perceive as an out-of-touch elite. These movements often promise to return power to the people, but their solutions are rarely as simple as they seem. Even though Germany is doing well economically, people are worried about the future. The fear of economic instability, job insecurity, and the changing social landscape creates anxiety. Despite the country's overall prosperity, many individuals feel that they are not benefiting from the economic success. This paradox of prosperity and personal insecurity fuels the discontent that parties like the AfD exploit. The economy isn't as strong as it used to be, and many Germans feel like no one is listening to them. The decline of traditional industries and the rise of automation have left many workers feeling vulnerable. Small towns and rural areas in particular have been hit hard by these changes. People in these regions feel abandoned and are searching for someone to blame for their hardships. The AfD takes advantage of this by offering simple solutions that sound good but aren't very realistic. They promise to bring back jobs, reduce immigration, and restore a sense of national pride. These promises resonate with people who feel that their way of life is under threat. However, the solutions proposed by the AfD often lack depth and feasibility, leading to more division and unrest. They blame problems on immigrants and people in charge, which makes people angry and scared. This scapegoating creates a climate of fear and mistrust. Immigrants and minorities become easy targets for the frustrations of the majority. This divisive rhetoric not only harms social cohesion, but also distracts from the real issues that need to be addressed. Young people, who are worried about getting jobs, and people in East Germany who feel like they were left behind, are especially drawn to the AfD's message. The youth, facing an uncertain job market, and the residents of East Germany, still grappling with the legacy of reunification, find solace in the AfD's promises. They see the party as a champion of their cause, someone who will fight for their interests. This shows us how important it is to make sure everyone has a fair chance in life. Addressing the root causes of discontent, such as economic inequality and social exclusion, is crucial. By fostering a more inclusive society where everyone feels valued and heard, we can counter the appeal of populist movements. It's a reminder that the strength of a democracy lies in its ability to represent and uplift all its citizens. The AfD knows how to make people scared, especially about money. Even though Germany is a rich country, not everyone is doing well. The gap between the rich and the poor is growing, and many working-class Germans are struggling. People are worried about losing their jobs to robots and other countries. It's getting more expensive to live, especially in cities. The AfD promises to protect German jobs and put Germany first, which sounds good to people who are afraid. But the AfD's ideas about the economy don't make much sense. They complain about things like globalization, but don't have any real solutions. Still, when people are scared, they often look for simple answers, even if they're not true. The AfD doesn't like immigration at all. They take advantage of people's fears about cultural change, making it seem like foreigners are ruining Germany. They do this especially after a lot of refugees came to Germany a few years ago. The AfD lies about immigrants, saying they cause crime and take jobs away from Germans. These lies make people afraid of immigrants and make them seem dangerous, even though most immigrants just want a better life. The AfD wants to make it much harder for immigrants to come to Germany, and they even want to send some back to their home countries. These ideas are cruel and impossible to do, but they are popular with people who are scared of change. The AfD is good at making complicated problems seem simple. They say it's us against them, blaming all of Germany's problems on people who are different or in charge. This is appealing to people who are overwhelmed by the world and want easy answers. The AfD's message is like a warm blanket on a cold night, even if it's full of holes. They use powerful emotions like fear and anger to get people to support them, and they're really good at using the internet to spread their message, even if it's not true. The AfD loves to pick fights and say shocking things. They know that getting attention from the media and making people mad helps them get more support. Their leaders say things that most people think are wrong, but it makes their supporters like them even more. This strategy works in a few ways. First, it makes the AfD seem like they are the only ones telling the truth. Second, it makes their supporters feel like they are part of a special group that is being attacked. And third, it makes extreme ideas seem normal. The AfD also wants to be seen as separate from all the other political parties. This makes them seem like the only alternative for people who are tired of the same old politicians. The AfD is like a group of people who don't always agree with each other. Some are more extreme than others, but the people in charge of the AfD are known for saying shocking things. One of these leaders, Bjorn Höcke, uses language that reminds people of the Nazis. He wants Germany to be a powerful nation again and doesn't like immigrants at all. Another important leader is Alice Weidel. She is very smart and knows how to talk to people in a way that makes the AfD sound reasonable. But she also believes in many of the same extreme ideas as Höcke. The AfD's success has shocked a lot of people in Germany. It shows that the country is still divided about its past and its future. Some people are worried that the AfD is a threat to democracy because they don't like immigrants and want to change the government. Others say that the AfD is just saying what many Germans are thinking but are afraid to say. They think that Germany has changed too much, and that regular people are being ignored. The AfD reminds us that we should never forget the terrible things that have happened in history. The rise of extremist ideologies in the past led to catastrophic events that changed the world forever. The horrors of World War II and the Holocaust serve as stark reminders of what can happen when hate and intolerance are allowed to flourish unchecked. These events are not just distant memories, they are lessons that we must carry with us into the future. We have to protect important values like accepting others and treating everyone fairly. These values are the foundation of a just and peaceful society. They ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to live a life of dignity and respect. When we embrace diversity and inclusion, we strengthen the social fabric that holds our communities together. We can't just expect these values to stay strong on their own, we have to work at it. It requires continuous effort and commitment from each one of us. Volunteering, participating in community discussions, and supporting local activists are just a few ways we can contribute to maintaining these values. It's about being proactive and taking responsibility for the kind of society we want to live in. To stop the AfD, we need to fix the problems that are making people scared and angry. Economic hardship, social inequality, and political instability are breeding grounds for fear and resentment. When people feel left behind or marginalized, they are more likely to turn to extremist solutions. Addressing these root causes is essential for creating a stable and inclusive society. We need to make sure everyone has a fair chance to succeed, no matter who they are or where they come from. This means investing in education, job training programs, and other initiatives that provide opportunities for all. By leveling the playing field, we can reduce the disparities that fuel division and conflict. We need to talk to each other respectfully, even when we disagree. Open and honest dialogue is crucial for understanding different perspectives and finding common ground. It's about listening as much as it is about speaking. When we engage in respectful conversations, we can bridge divides and build stronger, more cohesive communities. The AfD's success is not guaranteed. Their rise is a symptom of deeper issues, but it is not an inevitability. By addressing the underlying problems and promoting positive values, we can counteract their influence. It's a collective effort that requires vigilance and dedication from all of us. It's a sign that many things need to be fixed in the world. The presence of extremist movements highlights the need for comprehensive solutions to social and economic challenges. We must work towards creating a society where everyone feels valued and secure, and where the conditions that give rise to extremism are addressed. If we work together, we can create a better future for everyone, a future without fear and hate. Collaboration and solidarity are key to overcoming the challenges we face. By coming together and supporting one another, we can build a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. The future of Germany, and maybe even the whole world, depends on it. Our actions today will shape the world of tomorrow. By committing to the values of acceptance, fairness, and respect, we can ensure a brighter and more inclusive future for generations to come.